Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin.
Well, I just saw your thing on Instagram.
What
Just
thing?
you yelling at somebody at an audience member last night. That's audience. That's awesome.
Yeah, Sammy Obeid was there, and he just took it because I don't know. This guy just interrupted, and it was fun to tell him to shut the fuck up.
Right, and Sammy, he was like, I smell content.
Yes,
Sammy's not wrong.
I know he gosh, he does really well with social media. Like he has someone they post every single day.
Yeah.
He had his TikTok got canceled or got taken away from him or shut down. He had a quarter of a million TikTok followers, and he did something about Israel Palestine.
Oh,
And that did it, which is fucking unbelievable.
It yeah,
He's
which is
gotten
weird because
about
it's
half of
Chinese. Yeah. Oh, has he?
yeah, but that's a lot to lose.
That is a lot to lose. So that Andy just brought me a sandwich. I just got off a plane, so this chip is going to be eaten, but it's not going to be eaten on mic. But you're going to get to see me put it in my face if you're watching this on YouTube.
It's on mic, Jackie. We're hearing it. Wow. Middle finger. She's like, you do the ad. I'm coming in, middle fingers flying, and I'm eating chips. All right. Happy Sunday to you too, Jackie.
Rockstarcation.
Merry Christmas. It's he made me I've got a chicken salad croissant with some macaroni salad.
Can I ask
the mid-est comes to life on this very plate? Yes.
Can I ask why your husband is bringing you a full lunch that needs to be eaten now at the beginning of an hour-long podcast?
Well, he knows that you can fill this hour. That's how he knows. He knows that I am extraneous. Extraneous? I don't know. But I just
word that it doesn't describe you. But yeah,
I don't think inconceivable. I don't think I'm using that word correctly, is what I'm saying.
I don't think so either.
Hey, I got a new mask joke that I wrote on stage Friday night. Pretty happy about it. And 2 shows, 1 show Friday, 1 show Saturday. Brandy Posey, rock star.
Woo.
Kate Murphy. Has she been a comic of the week? I think she has. And if not, we should look into that because she was very funny.
Everyone with the last name Murphy sounds familiar to me. I'm like,
well, that's it, right? Your last name's Murphy.
I think there's Murphys somewhere in one of our extraneous family lines.
Yeah. For sure. The thing is it's the word Murphy. That's insane. Anyway, did you go anywhere this weekend? Or were you just in town doing sets?
I was in town doing sets. Last night I had 2 at Comedy and Magic, and then I went over to the Laugh Factory in Long Beach.
Wow,
there's such different crowds. It's
yeah, that's one way of putting it for sure.
Audiences, but it's fine. It was a long. I left the house at like 5. I got to the first show is at 6 at Hermosa Beach, and I thought on Saturday I didn't think it would be heavier traffic, but it was. So I got there late. But I mean, I should have left at 4:30, and I didn't get back till around 11:30 because the Long Beach show was a 9:30 show, and then there was part of the Hollywood. There was vegetation near the Hollywood Bowl was on fire, so we had a massive slowdown on the 101. And then when you drive by, there was like they put most of it out, but there were like 6 palm trees that were just embers. So it looked really pretty because I hate palm trees and they should all be burnt to the ground because they're pointless. They're not trees, they're shrubs. They provide no shade, and we're in a climate crisis.
And I don't know if this is a California attitude because Andy has the exact same attitude. He hates palm trees. He doesn't want any part of it.
Right.
Our Christmas card one year was a palm tree on fire. That just a snapshot that Carl Hess took and put on an Instagram, and I cannibalized it. I photo credited. I printed postcards and we sent it out as a Christmas card.
Nice.
because the world is also on fire. But did you get a picture? So my point is did you get a picture of the embers?
I did. As I drove by, because
Ooh.
it was very slow, I was able to get a little bit of video. But yeah, and they're not native to California. So we should be just growing native stuff at this point, deserty native stuff. So yeah, and those palm trees, put up some pine trees or something. All right. I don't know if
Right.
that's even native to SoCal, but I'm
Right.
tired of palm trees. They do nothing, and let
Right.
Florida have them. Okay, they're for Florida.
Right.
They're hurricane trees. All right,
You
they're
know,
not for California.
the TV was on. Okay, so the TV at the hotel that I stayed at in Portland, Oregon. So I go to PBS to see what's on. There's a new show on PBS called Florida Woman.
Oh,
And it is about a woman who has like a crocodile or an alligator as a pet.
okay.
And I was like, the snark of the title of that particular is great. So
Yeah.
I'm flipping channels. At this. It's a boutique hotel in Portland, Oregon. And Portland, Oregon, famous for having the most strip joints in the whole wide world. Turns out there's a porn channel. On the case, I was like, what? What is this porn? And it wasn't like I've not watched any. I haven't watched a great deal of porn, right? I've probably seen like 3 porns in my life, and not all of them. See my published works. I've talked about it. But the thing is so the weird thing is that it's no genitalia. It's just it's a tattooed guy taking a tattooed woman, having the sex from behind.
Okay.
And then we get to see her boobs. And then there's a lot of sort of breathing and some moaning and some happiness and some concentrated face looks. And so I watched it for a while and I was like, that's kind of sexy. That's kind of sexy.
Sure.
And then I was like, is this it? Is there not gonna we're not gonna do anything else? We're not gonna there's not another angle? Anyway, so I watched Friends.
Well, that porn channel sounds almost G-rated,
Right, kind of softcore porn
Yeah.
at the least. We got to see some ladies perfectly nice looking breasts. Well played, lady. You got boobs. And she had nipples. We got to see some nipples.
Well, Jack,
I don't know.
it
Yes.
sounds like your weekend went well.
It did. And then the guy who probably a dozen years ago, fan of the show and comic, he designed a new logo for the Dork Forest.
Oh,
And
neat.
it is the current logo that I use. I like it. It's got the D12 on it. He outdorked me. It's a beautiful logo. It's what's the t-shirt? But Brett Chambers is his name. And about 10, 12 years ago, I asked him about doing another shirt, and he was like, I'm leaving the graphic design industry and I'm becoming an undertaker. And I said,
What?
And I said, I've never heard a more Portland statement at the time. At the time, it was Portlandia. It was, it was pre, the cops essentially
Taking over downtown, smashing.
Yeah, exactly. Just deciding to destroy everything. So we had lunch. We went out for Korean burritos, and that felt super Portlandia. They were delicious.
Okay. That was my next question, Jackie.
Yeah. Well, have you ever, when you've done Throckmorton in Mill Valley, California, have
Yes.
you ever been to the Indian burrito place?
No.
I think it's called Tandoori Burrito or Tandoor Burrito. It's right around the corner and it is also a delight. There is no reason not to take any food and turn it into a burrito. And so that's what's happened with the Korean restaurant we went into, walkable from my hotel. And yeah, super fun. Anyway,
how many shows? One each
just
night?
one each night. And that room only seats, I think it seats $1.20.
Yeah.
And Shelley McClendon, really nice, such a good person, and missed you. Oh, we were given t-shirts. I have yours. they didn't have any sizes left, so you could either give it to your son or you can wear it to bed, because I'm going to wear mine to bed. And it's an
Okay.
Oregon Trail one. It's
Okay.
an Oregon Trail t-shirt, except get this, you guys, it's a Subaru joke.
Okay.
Because you've heard the thousands of Subaru jokes.
Yes. Oh,
with the
okay.
Pacific Northwest, but it's an Oregon Trail Subaru mashup joke,
Okay.
and it's kind of adorable.
All right. I'll
nothing wrong with
accept this gift whenever
When
it
next
comes
we
to
see each other, yes.
Mhm.
And it's very sweet. She brought it. I only brought CDs, DVDs, and because I can't find anything, and I'm out of Swish T-shirts, and for some reason, even though they are made in America, there is some sort of maybe the cotton.
Supply problem.
Mm-hmm. What else? What else did you do this weekend?
You don't care. You just want to eat. Not a conversation.
Talk amongst yourself. I do have to take a bite of this sandwich. What do you got?
Yeah, I did spots. Kyle and I did the ripped bodice, and that was a lot of fun.
Super fun.
And saw Wendy Liebman. She was there, hilarious. Haven't seen her in so long. It was great.
She's so funny.
Oh my God. And Jasmine Ellis was there, hilarious. You
Mhm.
know.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was a really fun show. Traffic is 100% back, and it's shitty.
What
Oh my
is?
God. Traffic.
Oh, traffic. 100%. You're correct.
Going to
I
Coke.
did the Federal on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And remember the Federal over in North Hollywood on Lancashire, just north of
I don't think I did it.
Magnolia?
Okay.
It's on and off, has kind of bringer shows.
Okay.
And it's all right. The audience was nice, but it was a lot of comics and then me doing 15. And it was a very well dressed. It didn't feel like a stand-up crowd. You know, I also did the pleasure chest this week. Weirdly enough, felt like the most stand-up crowd.
Yeah.
Like it literally felt like comedy fans coming out to see stand-up.
See,
And
I think
hoping
of a stand-up crowd is people who were talked into going to a show and don't want to be there. And
that's a road crowd that have wandered in from walking the Mall of America all day long.
Yeah, that's what I consider an audience. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's not the audience. I don't have any interest in that audience. I mean, I know that for me is work,
Mhm.
and I'm uninspired. But but so the Federal was all right, but I had to, I was just sort of like felt like I was shouldering them. I'm like, fucking come on. And then here's this joke, and they're like, it's a little too smart. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. It's not that smart, and you're not that dumb. And you've just been watching an hour of perfectly normal, I just did 2 really great shows with Maria's audience. So I was also super spoiled.
Oh, right. Yeah. So you have expectations that, let's be honest, no comic should have.
Except for that bull shows in Portland were full of those people too, because there were a lot of Maria's fans who bled over into my world.
Oh, that's great.
It's pretty great.
Mhm.
Pretty happy about it. And so I only did 2 jokes from Staycation. I did the hair tie closer,
Mhm.
and I did the Viking joke. And then the rest of my 50 minutes up there was all new premises. It was pretty great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. I feel stalled creatively in my act, at least. And
Yeah.
So I'm going to Toronto this week. I'll be there Thursday through Sunday.
Ooh, all
So
right.
I'm flying out on Wednesday.
Okay.
And I am prepared to do battle with Air Canada because they
Oh,
promised,
right. They owe you money.
promised me at the gate $300 reimbursement for hotels. And I had to buy, and my son and I stayed in a hotel together. And the 2 of us getting 300 each was 600 wouldn't cover a Saturday night in Toronto. But still, I was like, all right, it's close enough. And then, I mean, this is what she told me. Just what she told a whole bunch of people. And then we got the letter that I got an email from Air Canada saying that they were not going to offer me that money instead. Yeah. So I'm really pissed. So I'll bring my evidence and my anger and see what happens. And they're not at American Airlines, so I can't even complain to Pete Buttigieg on Twitter. Never fly Canadian Airlines. That's the lesson I've learned, although I will be again on Wednesday. Jackie, we can't hear you because
Air Canada is monumentally better than WestJet, which is what
WestJet
I'm.
also Canadian?
Yes, and that's what I'm flying to Canada in December.
Why?
I'm doing Toronto.
But why are you flying WestJet? Why not fly Delta?
Because it is Delta.
Mm,
It's Delta and WestJet, which is their Canadian partner.
okay.
And this week I will be following Brian Regan around the Southern California and doing shows. I'm doing Solvang on Wednesday.
Ooh.
Kites and fudge for everyone. And I will throw a wooden shoe into the works. Do you know the history of the Dutch wooden shoe?
Not
Offhand, the
not off
sabot.
the
The
top of
bow.
my head.
Mhm. It is yeah, Kyle knows. It's the root word of sabotage. It was the factory workers in Dutchland, that's what I like to call it, the Netherlands. When they'd want a day off, they'd throw one of their shoes into the factory works and everybody get the day off.
Oh, because they were wood, it fucked everything up.
Yeah,
Mhm.
broke the machine. And they had to spend
Oh.
a day fixing easily 3 or 4 gears.
But
And
they're not comfortable. Was there ever a world where those were comfortable shoes to wear?
I have
How
never
did they do
understood
that?
why anyone's wearing those shoes for reals. I was like, for reals, you're wearing wooden shoes.
So
That's
wouldn't it
weird.
be like like ballet dancers, they buy their shoes and then they just tear them to shreds and customize them and take things out and re-sew them and stuff. Were the Dutch doing that with their wooden shoes, or they just get like a piece of wood and put it around their foot and walk in pain? I can't.
I've only seen the, like, I've been to like different versions of what Solvang is, which is a just a little tourist trap. And so did I ever tell you that when I was in Dublin for the Dublin Comedy Festival, probably 5 years ago now, 6 years ago,
Mhm.
that the cab driver, he was driving us to the hotel. Andy came with me because he likes to come with me when it's cool. And so we drive by this old pub, and I was like, "Oh, I've heard of that pub. We're supposed to go there." And the cab driver says, "Don't go there. That place has been a tourist trap since 671." And I was like, I definitely am going there now. Something that cab drivers have been telling people not to go to since the year 671 is definitely, yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't actually a building in 670, but somebody's been slinging ale from that location for
Right, I'm sure it was just a
70
manger,
years.
and that's where Joseph Smith was born. Anyway, new religion. So, yeah, so I did sets, I saw people, I hung out, I went to Powell's, I did all the things you do in Portland.
That's
I
a great day.
yeah, it was just, and it literally, it felt like too short a time. I was like, I would like to live here. And everybody I talked to, all my friends who live there now, are like, it sucks now, man. Ever
Really?
since the cops broke it and the Civil War, ground floored there. And I was like, yeah, but that's everywhere. I might as well go, and plus I'm not moving to Portland, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So
I've always wanted to move to Portland. I remember working in Harvey's thinking, oh, these like little lofts they're building are so cool, but it would never, like buying a loft when you're working Harvey's. Not
yeah.
on your radar.
Those two things never go together.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
that's
had I had access to capital, I could
Right.
be a landlord billionaire in
yeah,
Portland.
I think Harvey's, I think, is like a $900 headline weekend. So
Is this still open?
no, but so yeah, so I'm going to Solvang on Wednesday. I'm
Right.
doing Irvine with Brian Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday I'm doing Oxnard. So I think it'll be really fun. I'm trying to figure out about, like, I have to stay in a hotel at Solvang,
Mhm.
but Irvine, that's drivable back and forth. But I don't know. It's a great. It's a,
I would stay I would drive back from Irvine unless if you're gonna are you watching Brian?
I would like to.
Do you stick around to say thanks goodnight or is there
No, he closes it. I know. It is pretty sweet. We did that. That's what we did. Kate went up. She tag teamed to Brandy. Brandy tag teamed to me because Kate had she had other sets.
So did Brandy sell a lot of merch?
She forgot merch the first
What?
night.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Brandy,
I know.
this is
And-
the most financial savvy person in comedy. How could she forget the merch?
I don't know. I have no idea. But did you see that a tree fell on Maria's house?
No, what?
Yeah. They have these 3 giant pine trees, and
Oh, no.
DWP came by. They finally got DWP to come by and chop down 2 of them about 5 months ago, and they're like, "This one will be okay." So
Yeah,
she's
the
at Burlington. Yeah, she's at Burlington, doing Vermont all weekend, and including tonight. Actually, she has 2 shows tonight and this Sunday. And yesterday, her husband Scott posted on Instagram. Boom, right into the house.
did that is terrifying.
Everybody's safe. The roof will have to be fixed. They came, I guess I just talked to her. I guess they came in the middle of the night, DWP, to untangle it from all the electrical wires.
Yeah.
And so at 2 a.m, they're like sawing it off of the wires.
Oh my
And so then the cops show up and they're like, "Why are you doing this now?" And the DWP is like, "Well, it is electricity and people need, this is a fire hazard." And then the cops, I guess, said to Scott, "Why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you call the cops?" And Scott's like, "You wanted me to call the cops on a tree? What were you going to do?" And-
Why do the cops always want to be called? We don't want to talk to you, okay? We don't like you. You're savage.
and they never respond anyway. They're constantly like, Kate's car got broken into, and so it led to but Brandy and everyone telling stories about cops saying, "Well, you fill out the paperwork online. It's nothing's gonna work. Nothing's gonna matter." Yeah. So yep.
That's crazy.
It's
It makes me sad that they had to cut down. Now they've lost 3 trees.
right. They
You know,
have there's a lot of trees around their house though.
I'm very
So I think it's,
pro tree.
you are pro tree. I like that post you did. Uh Plant a shade tree today. That was, I forget when that was. It was like a week ago or so.
Yeah, in the middle of our heat wave. Yeah, I mean, plan for 10 years from now because that heat wave that we had for 8 days is going to be we're going to
8
have
years.
multiple of those every single year. You know, we're just
I'm-
going to have like 2 week chunks where we can't do anything. You can only just stay inside with your AC.
I called a guy to come by the house and tell me why my vegetable garden isn't producing vegetables. So it's a garden guy
Yeah.
who's going to come by and poke at my dirt. And
Oh,
then,
cool.
but I was also telling him that I wouldn't mind if he knew anything about ground cover. And he was like, "I know things about ground cover." So like drought resistant, because that's what I would like to plant. Is I would like to plant all kinds of drought resistant instead of grass,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
because we don't really have any grass, and that's fine. But yeah, but I am looking forward to seeing. I haven't worked with Brian for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, so he should have a couple new jokes. That'll be fun. I don't know what material I'll be doing because a lot of my material, that's not true. Some of my material is appropriate for 9-year-olds, and so it should be fun. Yeah, I wonder if he would mind if I left just the Irvine shows. You know, the Solvang show I'll hang, and the Oxnard show Andy might come up with me,
Oh, nice.
and then I'm thinking of if I like Solvang, that's where we might go because we're gonna get to go away for a couple of days at Christmas supposedly. and we might go to Solvang because Andy fell in love with a Charles Dickens Santa Claus exploding. Like it turns out he likes a weird Victorian Christmas thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, I didn't see this one coming. That I was going to be the guy that would like top hats and an a cappella choir. So though we could have called it like an a cappella like quartet singing Christmas carols. And but that's something. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm going to Toronto, not bringing any merch, you know.
Not gonna even bother.
No. So it's a flat money gig, but it's not a lot of money.
Right. Well, that's the ticket, right? I mean, it was, I think I might have already been paid for my Toronto gig because this guy, it's like a private
Yeah.
that he's always wanted to see me do stand up. And I was like, well, it's expensive. You live in Toronto. I need air, hotel, and money. And he didn't even blink, which, and I didn't ask for a great deal of money, but I asked for a real amount of money. And in
Right.
US, I was like, I need that.
Yeah. Well,
That's real.
Yes.
And so
I bet he tips you because that isn't a lot for somebody that has that kind of not blinking money. People that don't blink, they can tip. And
I tipped well myself this week. I brought CDs and DVDs. I sold all of the coins, the challenge coins, which are easy to travel with, by the way. You might want to get a pin.
Yeah.
So somebody came. A guy came to the show. He was wearing the Comic of the Week notebook pin from
neat.
from Max Fun.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
Cool.
And he was wearing a Spooky Reading Girl pin, and so he was a fan. Speaking of which, did you figure out anything with the stickers on Patreon? The 10 now that we have a tier.
Well, it's what I told you is
Did they email you back about stickers and tiers?
Well, no, I mean, they will issue new stickers. Like they'll send out new gifts every 3 months. They only do every 3 months. So what we'd have to do for the people that have upgraded to the $10 tier is send them 3 stickers every 3 months instead of 1 a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. And then the other thing is because I went to the Patreon page and I went to the sticker list and it was not like there were only 5 people who had joined at the $10 level since I created that tier.
Okay.
Who were eligible to get stickers, but there were actually 31 people.
Right. Okay. So he did send me directions and I haven't followed up on it.
Oh, to upgrade that and make that happen?
No, I don't know what he just told me what needed to be done, perhaps if he understood the question. So I haven't done it.
Oh, fair enough though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then I was talking to somebody. If you have your own label, Sirius will play your stuff, Kyle.
Wait, say that again.
Kyle, who has a label, a comedy label, if you submit to Sirius, and they're only accepting albums from labels now.
Okay.
Which is weird.
We'll see if mine counts.
Yeah, see if yours counts. But I don't know. Was it hard to create a label?
No, but there's a lot of answer to that. I know how to do a lot of the things that you'd need to do for it kind of across the board, so it was a little easier to be a one-man show. It's also not like a fully set up business. It is still very like small and cottagey. So
sure,
yes and no.
But you have to sort of register as a label with somebody. Is that the scoop?
I mean, possibly. Like I think it depends on different kinds of stuff. Like there are many independent labels that are kind of doing what I've done in the past, and sort of as money comes in and you legitimize, you kind of do more and more. We have like $800 at the moment, so it's not like we're sitting around going like we got to get incorporated.
Right, fair enough.
That's after paying everybody, by the way.
Wow, what is Sirius consider a label then?
Right. Well, that I actually don't. But that was the last I heard. So I don't know the
definitely
definition.
Definitely a gatekeeping layer at the layer at the end of the day, but I get it.
Sure, it must be like that YouTube thing where you can't make money until you have like 3,000 or whatever. Yeah. so at Comedy Magic, it's like tag, you bring up the next person, and both of my intros were the apps that they're on social media.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's what that cryptic, like, apps are a credit now.
Yeah, you've seen them on TikTok. And I'm like, what?
Attainable goal.
That was it. And some of if these people have 1 billion views, you have seen them on TikTok, And
Yeah.
then somebody else was saying, like, he had TV credits, and a club owner said those are outdated. Like, what?
Oh my God.
What the fuck is happening in comedy? I don't understand.
I know.
And
I've typed a question in the chat, by the way.
oh, okay.
And I just, my TikTok is still doing good.
Yes, they always do. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
I just,
but it's and like we've talked about this before about just releasing an EP or something, and it's
singles.
You could almost go, this chunk is done. Like my mom dying of COVID, that chunk's done. I'm not adding to it really, and I should just put it out by itself. But
I'm actually experimentally releasing a thing like that, where Andy Awancio is doing an EP that's an 18-minute set that is just her chunk that she does on like being trans for like trans shows and events she does, and so that it's separate from whatever else she does.
How many bits is that? Is that cut into like 3-minute bits?
Yeah, it's 3 chunks, so they're all about 4 minutes each.
Okay,
give or take.
Yeah, because and Laurie, you could just release it on CD Baby.
Yeah, that's what I do.
All right, I don't know. I'll have to look into that. But
it's $35. It would cost you $35 to do it. They would push it to Amazon, to
Everywhere.
iTunes, and everywhere.
Everything
and
but Sirius and Pandora.
Right.
All right.
And
everyone but Sirius and Pandora?
Yeah.
Pandora.
Everywhere but the places that pay?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, again, those keep a lot of gates on them because they don't want to pay people.
Right. And Amazon and iTunes do pay.
Yes.
Apple Music. But I get what you're saying. We're both supposed to get paid this month from 800-pound gorilla.
A significant amount of money, I'm gonna be really upset.
Yeah. I've already asked him what it would take to get my album back, and he has been like, "Well, just give me a minute." And I was like, "Okay."
Well, we get $3. My computer just said it was gonna turn off in 55 seconds. So if I go away, I'll come back.
Okay, and we'll talk amongst ourselves.
But,
or I'll just pontificate. Maybe I could have a little lunch.
Yeah. But shit, what were we talking about?
It's the paycheck at the end of the month from 800.
So we are supposed to get like about $3 per album sale, right? That's what we get.
I don't was that in the contract? I'm so sorry that I didn't read it.
I think it works out to that, right? Is it like 50-50? So they get so say they're $10, they get $5. Maybe I'm so a little bit under $5, and then I'm commissioning.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, so if we have what's our average listener over a week here at the podcast?
Like $5,000?
Yeah, just about.
And then as it gets banked, like 3 months into it, I think our numbers are around 10 or 11,000.
Yeah, I'd say,
yeah.
Jackie, I would hope that everyone who listened would have done the minimum and bought our album, because
for $10.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
if that's the case, and we have 10,000
steady listeners,
10,000 sales, then that's like $18,000 to $30,000.
Okay. Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, this podcast might be over. Like what?
Yeah, please don't walk into the sea. I know you're not.
Oh, sorry. Can I throw a thing out about this? Because I have done a lot of thinking about this. Part of it is that it's way more likely that they are adding to Spotify or iTunes or Apple Music or one of those your record, and that is not the same as buying it. It is giving a different setup, and a lot of people, that's kind of how they acquire it instead of buying it, because they don't know that they know the financial back end, what a kind of difference there is.
but I believe that we have pointed it out.
And just now, we have reiterated that you guys, if you've ever wanted to own a comedy album, now's the time. Get out there.
I mean, we've talked about it here. I've talked about it on Twitter. Whenever I retweet someone's album, I say buy, don't stream, because the artist doesn't get paid on a stream.
Not as much. So yes, please do. Let
Promise
us
the
take a
audience all
real
broke comics.
Yeah, in our case, there's a lot of features listening to this.
Hey
so
guys, what up, my people?
what up? Yeah. Thanks for this. I genuinely thank you for the support. So here's this scoop. Let's take a break.
Okay.
And then let's also do the comic of the week who just opened for Jimmy Pardo at Comedy Attic. And I was watching her stuff and it made me happy. So I was like, what about her? And but I gotta find her name again. It was like Sung. Her last name was Sung, if I remember correctly.
It's
Shanda Sung.
Shanda Sung. That's it. Right. So she was super funny. The bit I saw was on her Instagram, and it was set at the Comedy Attic, oddly enough, and it was about the nuances of owning a sports bra. And I enjoyed it a great deal. So, what is her Twitter handle, Kyle?
It is Shanda Sung.
Shanda.
Indeed. Shanda Sung.
There you go, you guys. And I believe that's her on. It's pretty close to that on Instagram too, right?
I believe so. They're definitely different. It sounds right. But I think one is her name and one has the period.
Okay. And so that is our comic of the week. Shanda Sung.
Welcome.
Find her. Welcome to the Jackie and Laurie bump. And if she has an album, you guys, you might want to buy it. Yes.
Yeah, if she has an album, buy it, fuckers. Yeah, but you're right. Maybe we do have too many features listening, and we're not gonna buy it.
Not too many. Never too many.
Let's say half. So 5,000 are working adults with jobs.
Right. Right. But a week from Friday, we're supposed to get that check. That's when it's coming. That's what I've been told. I'm doing a Zoom show a week from Friday. Actually, I'm doing the KO Comedy Zoom. You know, KO Comedy's still doing a Zoom show.
Yes, Sammy did. Yeah.
Yes.
He's on this podcast today.
Yeah, it really is. And so a week from Friday, I'm doing a Zoom show. If you need to see some comedy, it's KO Comedy. Yeah,
he has quite an audience still. I just did a Zoom show with Danielle Perez, and on Thursday or Friday or Wednesday. It was like, oh yeah, Zoom.
Zoom.
For a very intense amount, part of our lives, that was all we could do. It
was 16 months.
Yeah.
And I quite honestly have wanted for the last year and a half to do another Sunday services, but I haven't been able to put it together. I haven't been able to put a Sunday, I hit the ground running a year ago, March, and I haven't stopped. So
right.
But then I am home for the next 2 weeks, and then I do the Minneapolis 10,000 Laughs comedy festival. And then I do a comedy festival in Plano, Texas, where I'm also going to do a live Dork Forest.
Nice.
And then I'm and then I'm home again.
The Milwaukee Comedy Festival, October 8th. It's the Sunday. Let me double check that is.
Yep.
That's excuse me, it's the 9th.
Okay.
And we're just going out for that night to Milwaukee.
Just a one-nighter, essentially.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I don't have a ton of work coming up.
I'm doing Dr. Grins, and the last time I did Dr. Grins was easily in the early 2000s.
Oh, really?
And it wasn't great. Like I'm scared of it, kind of like I'm scared of Royal Oak, except for Royal Oak was really fun.
I did do it before the pandemic. It was fun, and
good.
And I'm doing it again in December. They moved, so
Oh, did they move?
And whenever they move to a new location, they update all their shit. So yeah, I think.
Oh, well, then I actually have a little more hope then, just because it's just, I don't know, it was super intense. It was in this sort of 3-story,
Yeah.
like there was a dance club on one floor and a karaoke bar on another floor, and then there was a comedy, and you're like, I don't want to be an afterthought. I hate being an afterthought comedy wise, it's that is not my best audience who are like, oh yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
But then I'm doing a festival in Houston, Texas in November, but I'm doing it in November.
Yeah.
Back to Michigan. And when I go to Minneapolis in a couple of weeks, I am going to um go to Milwaukee first, stare at my dad, and and then keep moving. Keep moving. The She-Hulk came out, watching a lot of She-Hulk, watched all of Sandman. Look at Great British Bake Off started on Friday. I haven't watched that yet. Got some television to catch up on. I'm watching a lot of Jeopardy because did your mom watch Jeopardy?
No, does Chris?
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of Jeopardy happening.
Bad show to watch all the time. I mean,
No.
if you got a person in the house watching a TV.
I like Ken Jennings. Ken,
yeah,
he's done the Dork Forest. His dorkdom was geocaching, and geocaching is some sort of global scrounge like hunt. What are they? A scavenger hunt?
Yeah, like Pokemon.
No, not Pokemon. Scavenger hunt where you go to Cambodia and someone has left like an action figure behind Angkor Wat. And you're like, no, this is a ruin. Please do not leave your weird action figure for everyone to like swap out and take a picture of. But made me laugh.
Yeah, but isn't that how Pokemon works with geocaching?
No, that was what is the live? I know what you're saying. It's a video game.
Yeah.
It was using a GPS tracking.
Okay.
Yeah, geocaching is actually a global
have the
nerd
word
thing.
G in it, which I think.
Yeah. Defend it to your grave. Double down, Kilmartin. You're not wrong, and I'm entirely on your side. Oh my god. I do. I want a lot of things out of life right now, but I have to also be happy with life right now.
That's exactly how I feel. I've had. I'm waiting to hear.
About things.
But I'm like, it's probably not going to happen, so I'm not going to get excited. But it's still like if you don't have the official no, you're still part of you like could be a yes. But this
how awesome is it that they send you an official no? Do they send you an official no, as opposed to auditions where they just ignore you for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Okay.
But this week I didn't have anything I had to do, and after 3 straight weeks, like, oh, thank God I can relax. But I didn't relax. I was like full of anxiety and despair. And as soon as I got off at school, I didn't know what to do all day. And then I'm like, is this my new life where I'm just, if I'm not on the road or working, I just don't know how to live. And then I woke up on the weekend and I felt good, and my kid was there, and I'm like, it's working hours. If I'm not working during working hours on a writing job, not, I don't want to work at the post office, although, that might be an option at some point. But like, I feel
pension.
terrible. I cannot enjoy, and I can't enjoy the downtimes that I think actors get really good at enjoying, because maybe they do. I don't know.
Right, they may not. That's speculative fiction on that part. I don't know, but I know what you mean. But I will say this: you seem more relaxed than last week. Last week you were bees. You were bzzz, and you're like, I'm exhausted. My head hurts. And this week you at least seem like, yeah, just kind of a little lethargic and trying to figure out what to do with my life, that kind of thing. So
yeah,
a little less of a bummer.
Last week. And then, oh my God. So I woke up in the morning and the packet was due at noon, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And so one of my jokes had been invalidated by the news. I'm like, fuck. It went major alert. So then I had to like write another one, but I was like, but the one I replaced it with was actually better because it was kind of tweaking whatever. But I was, oh my God.
You were made full of rage by the
Yeah.
news
Yeah.
ruining your joke.
Yeah. Like
Well,
the punchline became true. I was
oh
like,
God.
no.
Hey Nostradamus. Can you tell us it?
It was a Prince
it-
Andrew. It was a Prince Andrew thing.
Oh.
I don't want
Who
to.
yeah, and I don't know who that is. I assume he's
That's the brother of King Charles.
Oh.
Who's the pedophile? He's
Oh.
the guy that the Queen paid off his the settlement that Virginia Giuffre, I think her last name is pronounced, sued after Epstein put them together, and
Oh wow.
he statutorily raped her.
Yikes.
Andrew did.
Yeah.
So, but he admits no guilt, I guess. I don't know, but he paid her like $12 million, and
Wow.
now he's trying to pretend like it's all behind him, and he's being part of the official, funeral ceremonies and the vigils,
Right.
and stuff, and he shouldn't be. And people
He's a
should
bad
be
guy.
yelling pedophile at him. Somebody in Scotland, when they first took the casket out, someone did
I
yell.
love the Scottish. What did they do?
Yeah, and then the cops like fucking pushed him to the ground and dragged him away. Like, you can't.
What did he yell?
I think he yelled, "You're a nonce," or "You're a dirty old man."
Oh, there you go.
Walking by, but I guess I thought it was like just like an old tradition, the monarchy, but I didn't think these people really take it seriously. A lot of British people.
Oh yeah.
Time. Yeah, it's the perfect time. That's the only time he's going to be in front of you. You're never going to see Prince Andrew in real life. If you ever see any of these Trump officials, you have to yell in their faces.
Right.
They can't think that they are allowed to get away with it without it being yelled at. That's my opinion. So,
hey, let's take a break.
Okay.
And then let's talk again. So in other news, but I saw some still photos. Hari Kondabolu posted, somebody made it was a BBC broadcast about North Korean exchange of power, I think it was.
Okay.
But it was over footage
Oh.
of the Queen.
Wow.
And it was literally it was the darkest, funniest thing I've ever seen. It was so, I was like,
Twitter, I gotta find it.
Yeah, you gotta find it because it was so good. Hari Kondabolu, and then go to media. You know how to work Twitter. Anyway,
I
so
wouldn't have thought to go to media. I just would have kept scrolling.
right.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting. I thought they're so smart, the British. That's my opinion of them, and to see them so proud. Like, this guy is a piece of shit. Prince Charles is garbage. Okay. And they get to keep so much of this money. They don't have to give any inheritance tax. Like, the average Brit, if they die, I guess it's like 40% of your inheritance is taxed. And he gets to inherit $500 million from the Queen, and it's not taxed. And then he has his own shit, and then the monarchy owns stuff that's like separate from him, but he's the head of the monarchy, so it's really messy and convoluted. But they have so much fucking money, and why? At least
right. It's not like he's been living check to check for the last 70 years anyway, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like he hasn't had absolutely anything he's ever wanted.
Yes.
Why does he need? It's so weird. Yeah.
Like here, okay, so you have like people that are constantly pursuing wealth. No matter, they won't stop. They won't be like Craig from Craigslist. Okay, they'll be like Elon Musk. They just have to have more, and you're like, why? What? How?
Do you see what the Patagonia guy did? The guy who owned Patagonia?
Did you? Yeah, but did you read Adam Conover posted this link about he's getting a $700 million tax break and all the financial things? It's like, of course, there's no good billionaires. There's no good billionaires.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone becomes a billionaire because of things. I do, I remember I was so, when you Do you remember what being hopeful about J.K. Rowling? I do. And it was when
Yeah.
she made her first billion. She gave away a bunch of money so she wouldn't be a billionaire. And
It's
she said
true.
that Mhm.
She deliberately stayed in England to pay taxes. Like she
Yeah.
didn't want to be one of those celebrities that all of a sudden lived in Monaco or something, you know?
Right. And then, and then over the last 15 years, it's just been, you turn into a billionaire, I guess. It's such a weird, I don't know. I mean, I guess if I had $1 billion,
Uh-huh.
I would want to go somewhere right now and get run through a rock tumbler because I don't feel healthy and I don't feel attractive and I feel like I'm aging a little too quickly. And I would like to go through a rock tumbler
Yes.
and be made shiny. And, but sadly, I am not. So I could just take the perfectly decent amount of money I have right here and work out and possibly go get a facial. How about that?
You know, I'm sorry, but Jennifer Lopez looks amazing because she goes to the rock tumbler place. You can't be disciplined all the time, okay?
Right.
You just go, I'm paying you, you make this food, you put it in breakfast, lunch, and dinner containers, and you don't let me eat.
And you keep poking me, and then that'd be
You cannot
great.
do it. You're already self-employed. You already are self-disciplined to fucking figure out stickers, get your t-shirt, get your road work. Now you got to do your whole workout too. No, at some point someone has to step in. You have to be able to hire someone to step in. That's why they all hire people. They can't do it.
Right, they can't do it, and they have enough money to actually hire somebody to physically lift them up and brush their teeth. I assume, but yeah, it's all quite disturbing. But that's what I want.
If you have enough to have a chef, an in-house chef that's like at your house 12 hours a day, maybe they're not making much. Who knows what they do all day? But when if you're going to limit your calories, you're going to have a chef
Right.
making
It's
your
not
food
going to
and
be a
it's fresh.
chicken salad sandwich and then pasta salad and some tortilla chips. That is a carb disaster happening right there. This is
And now
probably 1,200 calories already.
you have a team behind you, and you feel you aren't lifting this emotional weight by yourself of I gotta look good. Like you have people helping you look like Jennifer Lopez, because she is our age and she does look amazing.
She really does.
It's and surgery. There's surgeries happening as well. Okay.
Yeah. Remember that vaguely weird woman? Who was she on? Was she Tim Allen's wife? Who was the one who was always talking about
Oh, I heard that about
on the sitcom?
on Home Improvement.
She was.
Patricia Heaton.
And she always admitted to getting surgery. She's like, no one looks like this unless they've had surgery.
Right.
And this is just okay. And I liked her about it. And then I heard about her politics and I was like, I like you less.
I know.
So be it.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to working on all of my new premises this week and possibly finding a new punchline for my mask joke. And I'm looking forward to finding a lot of more punchlines because I did a lot of essentially long premises this weekend with one punchline, or long premise, one punchline, more of that premise, me searching for the second punchline and not finding it.
Mhm.
So what I loved was that those two audiences in Portland, Oregon were super patient and really nice.
Well, I guess what I'm going to do is I have newer stuff that, isn't like officially stamped done yet, So I'll see if I can find a few more openings there in those chunks. And then, I have to do like an hour, so I'm going to tell the old stuff.
Yep.
Like it's new.
Yep.
There's be some stuff that have been on the album, but a lot of it hasn't, but I'm already sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can figure it out, I can make it fun. And then, maybe I'll have some inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
I just have it's the uncertainty, is that's life. It's uncertain. I just had certainty for so long, and so I don't have it now, and I'm not dealing well with uncertainty.
Right. Uncertainty is stressful.
The illusion of certainty. Okay?
Yep.
No one has certainty. You could get you could get a disease at any time. You could get hit by a car at any time.
Anytime.
But at the for a while,
Promise?
when you're working on Conan, he like, it's like 10 years. As long as he goes, you can go, basically. It's like, that's cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
Any hoodle. Where are we at here, Kyle?
We are so close. We got
Well,
maybe
next week I could talk about my legal issues might be over. And I might be able to talk about that in very general terms.
Oh no, when can you get really specific?
I can't. Not after I sign it, for sure.
Oh.
So, but we can at least talk about it in very general terms, and we can warn people. And I'm sort of, yeah, and I tried a bit about what I've learned from different things that have happened the last 5 or 6 years. I tried that premise last night, so that's cool. Anyway, I want to go away now.
let's do that.